What pseudo fact do you wish people would stop using? Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. That we eat 8 spiders a year. Einstein failed math. No, he mastered calculus by the time he was in middle school. The Great Wall of China can be seen from space. Parents used to tell me that it's illegal to drive with the inside lights on in the car. Can't believe I believed that shit until I was like 17. Don't touch baby birds' animals, the mom will reject them. This is absolutely not true at all. If you see a baby bird that fell out of its nest, you can place it back and mom will still feed it. I personally had to place a baby bunny back in its nest after my dog disturbed it and mom still came back even with the smell of my dog near the nest. Mother animals are more dedicated to their babies than you think and won't ignore them just because they may smell a little weird. Also, birds have a terrible sense of smell anyway. They won't even know you touched their baby. Fun fact: pseudo-facts were originally called factoids because they are not fact but resemble facts, and therefore factoid. Factoid is now used to describe trivial facts. We only use 10 of our brain. The whole frogs will slowly boil without noticing thing. Almost anything food nutrition related. Our modern relationship with dieting is just insane. Marilyn Monroe would have been a US size 12 had she been alive today. Vanity sizing has taken over the fashion industry. She would have been a US size 4 or 6 today. That hair and fingernails keep growing for a couple of weeks after you die. No, they don't. Your skin starts receding, creating the illusion of hair-nail growth. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Even if it's tiny cookies and milk, apparently. Rocky Raccoon is about a human man and not a giant anthropomorphic raccoon. Everybody was not kung fu fighting. The hokey pokey is not really what it's all about. That's propaganda. That we only use number of our brain. The only people this applies to are ones who say it. That hair grows back thicker after you shave it. I don't know how or why, but so many believe this to be true. Lots of food myths such as the food pyramid or the importance of drinking milk. No, your bones will not fall apart if you don't drink milk, nor do you need to eat tons of grains every day to stay healthy. Blood isn't fucking blue. I am blue in the face telling people this. It's ridiculous. Arguably the single most widely spread scientific pseudo-fact other than iodine being impossible to boil. Mammals didn't appear after the extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs. Mammals lived side by side with dinosaurs for 1 million years before that, but as small rodents. The extinction event made it possible for mammals to take over ecological niches that had previously been occupied. Toilet water swirls counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. The whole alpha wolf thing. Alphas are just the parents. That Napoleon was a short man for his time. He was a little over the average of his time. That people in the past only had a life expectancy of 25 years. The average was so low, because a high rate of infant deaths. Once you made it through childhood, there was a good chance to reach your 70s. That OCD is perfectionism, it is not. This misconception impacts people with OCD. People think it's not so bad, but it is. People die because of OCD. People commit suicide over it. It is not a silly little thing, it is very serious in a lot of cases. I have cleanliness OCD and my skin is broken, rough, and unbearable to touch. You do have OCD with perfectionism OCPD. OCPD is not just perfectionism but is different from OCD, it has several other symptoms. Please stop using OCD as perfectionism, you are actively harming people by spreading this. I will admit I did this too, only because I thought OCD meant perfectionism. Now that I have it, I don't. It is just horrible to have. Edit additions. You can leave class if the professor is 15 minutes late. That Texas is the only state that was once its own country. Texan sports announcers love to quote this nonsense. 10 sovereign states have joined the US over the years. Texas wasn't even the one that existed on its own for the longest. 8 glasses of water a day. Everyone's body is different and we get water from the food we eat as well as other liquids outside of water. Our species wouldn't have survived in Africa as we needed 8 glasses of water a day. It's absurd. The Amazon doesn't provide 20 of the world's oxygen. Also, Texas doesn't have the legal right to secede. Public government subsidies for professional athletic stadiums is a boon for local economies. Just spend 5 minutes on the internet researching the academic consensus about stadium subsidies. Stadium subsidies are some of the most egregious examples of wealthy sports team owners extracting rents from society's least affluent. That half the marriages end in divorce. This is taking into account those on marriage number 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. First marriages have a much higher success rate, and every year after 5, 10, 20, etc. the rate of success grows exponentially greater. Bumblebees shouldn't be able to fly. That autistic people lack empathy. MSG is bad. You can't be crazy and know you're crazy. Thanks. Catch 22. That 9-10 facts are false. That cats claw furniture and such to sharpen their claws. This is not true. They are leaving territorial markings that are both visually noticeable to other cats as well as imparting their scent from glands by their claws. Shaving body hair makes it grow back thicker and darker. That tolerance and acceptance are the same thing. I see it everywhere. You have to accept this, you have to accept that. No, you don't just tolerate it. Everyone deserves an opinion on things, and if they don't enjoy yours, then they can suck it up and say, okay, I believe differently, but I won't press you for it. You don't have to accept it, but you should be tolerant. Pee is not sterile. It will not help you disinfect wounds. That alpha males are a real thing in nature. The person who discovered alpha behavior in wolves realized that he was just observing family dynamics in wolf packs and went back and disavowed his previous claims. The psychology of the power stance, aka if you stand like Superman for a minute, your confidence, energy, whatever boosts. The science on it is shitty, and the person who discovered the power stance makes a fuck ton of money doing speaking events for folks who get off on pop psychology. It has led to a significant ethics debate in the psych community that people who get money from speaking events should be ethically obligated to publicly claim the amounts. Because shit like this happens, people do bad science, and instead of backing down once it's been credibly refuted, they stubbornly insist the science is good so they can keep making money. That somehow vaginas stretch more if you have sex with more men. Complete nonsense. That you can fit a raccoon in your ass. You can fit 2 of them in there. Your parents telling you they need to inspect your candy for razor blades and poison. Fact: there has never been a razor blade found in an apple. Who TF gives out apples anyways? Fact: they want to inspect it to take all the good candy. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't actually free anyone. It did. Columbus proved that Earth was round and was champion of scientific thinking. It's illegal to drive at night with the lights on in your car. No, it's not, Mom. If you sit on cold concrete, you'll get hemorrhoids. I'm not sure if this counts, but the saying "the customer is always right" is the most obnoxious and incorrect use of any phrase or fact. The idea is thus: a hat store has always sold only black hats, but a new shop on the other side of the street has opened and they sell both black hats and red hats. All of a sudden the first shop isn't as busy anymore. The idea is that the first shop realized that they need to be selling red hats too. The saying is about being able to sell what is in demand and then still offering all the other choices. If someone steps into a store and can't buy the item they are looking for, why aren't you selling it? It's got nothing to do with being an asshole and saying it to get your way. Sorry, rant over. That the U.S. interstate system was designed to have 1 mile of straight highway road for every 5 miles of road for emergency landings of airplanes. It's not in the initial proposal at all, and it's wildly impractical beyond that. CGP Grey, I think, has a great spiel about debunking this. It's just not true, it never was. Vaccines cause autism. Gum doesn't take 7 years to digest. Why would it stay there in the first place? We only have 5 senses. X200B sources text but 20 at 20 my 20 surprise 20 you. 520 down 20 to 20 just 23 text but 20 at 20 my 20 surprise 20 you. 520 down 20 to 20 just 23. Sugar makes children hyper. That a hymen can be broken, or you can tell by looking at a hymen if someone is a virgin. Edit. Yes, hymens can be broken or torn in numerous ways. I should have been more specific in regards to virginity related to hymens. The next person that regurgitates that, do you know what the definition of insanity is? Bullshit in front of me is getting a punch in the throat. Reaganomics. Alright, I'll add my own since I don't see it here. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I just saw a senator use this during a news interview this morning, and it's what inspired the question. Bonus: chewing ice means you're sexually frustrated. It actually probably means you have anemia or low iron. Best get that checked out. Big feet, big penis. I've disappointed so many. They smile when I take off my shoes and sigh when I take off my pants. Einstein failed math science in high school. Vaccines cause autism. Glass is a slow-flowing liquid. No, it isn't. Old sheet glass is wavy because it was made that way. There is no correlation between dog years and human years. They, like any other non-human species, age different.
I hope you all are doing well, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. If you have something to say critically or otherwise, leave a comment. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to see more of it. I hope you all have wonderful and fulfilled lives.